Hi. So I think I'm just gonna start this video off by just straight up exposing my past self. But first, welcome to my new house, welcome to my new room, welcome to my permanent studio. Recently, I bought a house, moved into a new state, and everything is still currently in the process of getting set up. Now back to exposing my past self. So all the way back in 2017, I made a Snapchat / manifestation story. And basically what it said is I hope that someday my channel would grow enough and I could collaborate with Jazza, who I obviously was a huge fan of. And I am so happy to say 4 years later, here we are. Today's video is in collaboration with Jazza.
G'day everyone, I'm Jazza. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Now for Jazza's video, I sent him a giant box of Dollar Tree art supplies, both good, the bad, and the ugly. And he's gonna create artwork with it. And for me, I'm gonna take on kind of like a little twist on one of Jazza's previous videos that he's done, where he customized a thrift store painting. And he totally made it into his own thing. And so I'm gonna do exactly that, but instead of thrift store, make a Dollar Tree. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna hop on a call and show him my artwork. Pressure is on.
You on repeat, you can see shit cause you have closed your eyes. You say you listen, but you're missing what it's all about. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah. I try to help you.
I heard that Australia, they don't have Twinkies or honey buns, so I'm gonna send him some from America, just like a little treat. So also gonna add that to the cart.
Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up?
My dad is like texting me. I know he's watching this. He watches all my videos. He texts me at like the most random times. Right now it's almost midnight and he's like, hey, what are you doing? Now, before I just jump straight in head first into the whole entire process of painting, first I want to do a whole entire evaluation of the art print. I say I chose it, but it was actually literally the only print available. And I'm sure a mass majority of you who enjoy art history already recognize what this print is from. And I'm gonna butcher it, but it is A Saturday Afternoon on the Isle of the Grand Jazz by George Seurat. And this art print right here is basically the updated version of that original painting. First, I just want to say that I really love the original painting and I'm so glad that I get to do a parody of it. I love the vibrant and in-your-face color palette. I love the heavy contrast of all the shadows. I love the fact that this is an already done piece. The subject matter is already there. The proportions, the anatomy, all of that's already there. All I have to do is add on to it. And lastly, I also really like the fact that it's an 11 by 14, which means there's a ton of space for me to be painting all over this bad boy. Now, as far as the hurdles go for this drawing, I mean, this thing is packed. Absolutely packed with details. I mean, the amount of details in this painting is absolutely insane. We're talking about people's clothes, their hands, heavily detailed backgrounds, the little tiny folds and highlights in people's faces. I mean, there's just so much detail packed into this little tiny piece, which, I mean, I don't have a lot of time to work on this bad boy. I have maybe a week tops. And the second issue that I'm gonna have with this painting is that it's on the world's cheapest paper alive. The second that I get this art print wet, the paintbrush is gonna pull a Thanos and it's gonna completely dissolve out of the air. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of steps to be able to get this thing to the final product. Oh hey, voiceover Ray here. Now, as much as I would love to be able to put this on a special art paper, I just don't have the time for that. So instead, I'm gonna send it to Walgreens and get it printed out in a 1-hour photo format. Bam. Now that it's on better, thicker paper, it's still not ready to be directly painted on. So I'm gonna go in with some acrylic gesso. And this stuff is a lifesaver because it turns my regular photograph paper into something I can paint on, and it dries nice, thick, and clear. Oh, I'm so itchy just all the time. I don't know why, but I'm just Itchy. Now, as far as the design goes, there is absolutely so much that I could do with this space. But at the same time, I'm very limited because I don't want to completely change it up from the original thing. So right now, my dream vision for this is how cool would it be if I turned this sunny, bright, happy afternoon. What if I turned that into a fall theme where everything is orange and warm, we're on a fall landscape, and instead of all the people being dressed up for summer vacation, what if I had them all dressed up for Halloween? I mean, how cool of a scene would that be? So now that I have this vision in my head, the first thing that I'm gonna do is transition this summer landscape into a fall landscape. Now, to change up the whole entire landscape, the first thing that needs to be changed is I'm gonna kill off all the grass, basically taking the grass from like a vibrant green down to like a muted yellow. The next thing I'm gonna do is warm up all of those dark, basically black shadows. They're very like blue, blacky color. I'm gonna turn those into a more appropriate warm brown to show the warmth of fall. Now, I can't just kill off all the grass and leave the trees alive. That just doesn't make sense. So, I'm gonna pull a little Bob Ross moment and convert all these trees from a happy, nice, alive summertime to dying leaves in fall. Oh, and one last thing that I'm gonna have to fix, or else it's just gonna bother me if I don't. I don't really like this white border of the painting or picture thing, so I'm gonna have to get creative and extend the background just a little bit more to cover it up. Alright, so here's where we're at so far. I think already just changing up the landscape made a huge difference. I mean, we went from a crazy bright summertime palette all the way down to a warm, muted brown fall tone, which so far I'm really digging it. Now this leads me to the fun part of the drawing, which I have been anticipating all night to be able to create this drawing. The next step is to transform all of the people into their Halloween costumes.
Don't force me out of bed in your society. Don't push me down the road you're bringing down. Don't try to fix my head, it's just your anxiety. Don't hush me now, cause I just wanna shout. Don't make me dance to a tune that you're humming. No, my body don't move like that. Don't make me pretend I don't see your shortcomings. You'll be running when I raise the black flag. Get out your bomb and fly away. We'll be dancing with our hands in the air when our new dawn is rising. To the break of dawn.
Okay, so it's been a month or two since I finished this painting. I honestly forgot what it looked like. I like everything I did except for the scarecrow. That is literally what my sleep paralysis demon looks like. But everything else I'm very happy with. So now that the main artwork is done, all I have left to do is to sign it. Maybe add in some gesso to fix it up a little bit. And of course, show Jazza. Ah, I'm so nervous!
That was pretty insane. Like, that was the best latency I've had in a call in a long time. Well done. Ray, we did it. We finally managed to do the collab after all my delays, I should say. I'm so sorry. Did you use the paints with customizing this? I'm really curious to see what.
No, for me personally, ended up just using just regular acrylic paint, but I think it came out really good. So, do you have Halloween in Australia?
I want there to be Halloween in Australia. We sort of do. I think for the younger generation, like my kids really get into it. I think like, especially with like a lot of American culture here for young people, sort of getting much more than it was when I was young. Some
Well, you
kids
know
try-
about it.
yeah.
You know all about Halloween.
Oh yeah, we love
Okay.
it. You did a Halloween version.
Yeah, I did a Halloween version. I made the whole entire thing. It's supposed to be a Saturday afternoon, but I turned it into a fall afternoon, and I turned everybody into a Halloween themed person. Like they're all wearing costumes. So
Oh, that's so cool! And it looks a part of the original painting. Hey, you recolored the ground and everything.
oh yeah, I did a lot
Whoa.
to it. So we got the Bride of Frankenstein, we got some ghosts.
You painted over the whole thing, so you did the horizon, you even like retextured the trees and stuff.
Yeah, I did a lot of, basically turned it from a very bright, like cool toned summer day into like a very warm, fall day.
Hey, that is so cool, I love it. Well done.
Yes, you too.
Yeah, you totally made it your own. It's so cool. But it's obviously, it's still like, you know, the original scene. Your artwork is like so complete. Like I thought maybe you might like put some pieces over it, but you basically repainted the whole thing. Thanks so much, Ray. This was a long time waiting, not just because I've been delaying, but we've known each other for ages and we've wanted to collab for a while. So I'm so glad we were finally able to do this, and it was a load of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me on my Dollar Tree adventure.
Thank you for bringing it to me. See you, Ray.
So anyway, that is all I have for you guys today. If you like the artwork that I did in this video, you guys should go check out the artwork that Jazza did on his channel with the Dollar Tree stuff. It is absolutely chef kiss. I'll link his video and his channel down below. And while you're watching his video, go subscribe, show him some support. You know how we do it around here. And yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a good day and I will see you next video. Bye.